One of the extraordinary pleasurable things in Balliol at this time of the year is that it's March and I've just been walking back across the quad and there's the smell of new grown grass, the daffodils are coming out, and as always there's that extraordinary sense of renewal. One perhaps doesn't appreciate quite often enough and how greatly this is an exceptional environment in which we as academics work. As you may have heard, there's another extremely important renewal about to take place in Balliol, which is that the Fellows have been meeting to elect a new Master, and I'm extremely pleased to say both that the process has been completed and that they have chosen Professor Sir Drummond Bone as the Master who will take up office in October. Some of you may know of Sir Drummond. He was a Snell exhibition here in Balliol, 68 to 72. But I think the main reason why I think he'll be a very good master is that he brings a very broad experience of higher education. He's been at the University of Glasgow and then Vice Principal of Royal Holloway and most recently Vice Chancellor at Liverpool University. And so I'm sure we're all looking forward to him coming here next October. The other notable thing about the term that's just finished is actually I've been doing an enormous amount of travelling. Peggotty and I have been right round the world and we've seen people in Hong Kong, Singapore, Perth, Sydney, Melbourne, back to Sydney, Wellington, Los Angeles, New York and San Francisco. And it was an exceptional spread of people. I mean, of course you might expect that with Balliol people. I think I saw getting on for between 200 and 300 people at one stage or another. And they were all alert, interested, curious and provocative. The other thing that struck me is when you get out of the UK and look back, it's a little bit like the way that people talk about the BBC. When you're in the UK, all the people do is criticise. The moment they're abroad, they suddenly realise the value of that particular institution. When you're in Australia or Singapore or somewhere, and you're looking back at British universities and looking at Oxford and looking at Balliol in particular, you again realise the exceptional value and the very distinctive quality. I mean, what really stands out about Balliol people is the combination of this intense independence of mind plus a great social awareness. And I think it's those two qualities taken together which really mark Balliol people out. Another thing that's been going on is that during this academic year we've set up a new institute. It's called the Balliol Interdisciplinary Institute. Why have we done this and what does it do? At one level, the reason why is extremely straightforward. Oxford colleges are just naturally interdisciplinary. I mean, people sit down to lunch or go into the JCR, MCR, and there's a computer scientist and a philosopher and a historian, and they talk. The only trouble is this: we've taken it for granted. Other universities around the world are creating special purpose buildings to bring these disciplines together. We've got it, so why didn't we use it more? So what we were doing, we set up something so that now people can hold seminars or workshops or invite speakers or have a publication, small sums of money to get this off the ground. What sort of things are taking place? If you look at the Balliol website, you can find a full list of them all. There are 5 groups already meeting more or less weekly. Let me just pick out 2. There's one group looking at time series. If you think about it, a huge range of disciplines just look at data that's been collected chronologically. Everybody studying financial markets do that, people looking at climate change do it, people looking at biological evolution do it, people looking at astrophysics do it, but they're normally doing it within their own discipline. And what we've now got in Balliol is a set of people meeting together to say, are we doing it in the same kind of way? What could we learn from each other? The second group I'll mention is one that's of particular interest to me. I mean, after the financial collapse and the implosion of Lehman Brothers, as you all know, people all over the world have been thinking, what do we do about this? Do we re-regulate the banks? Do we have new forms of competition? This is a huge question. But there's a small Balliol group which I think has got some real leverage on this. There's a group of economists, lawyers, philosophers, and what they're looking at is what they call the concept of the duty of care. And I think they're absolutely on target, because once you put it in that way, you immediately understand there's a reciprocity between the buyers of financial products and the sellers of financial products. And unpacking and working out quite what that reciprocity is about may, I think, illuminate a whole set of problems in economics and indeed markets more generally. So I'm very excited about that one and quite engaged in it myself. The other extremely important thing to say about the Balliol Interdisciplinary Institute, something which I was very keen that it should happen, is that old members will also be able to be involved. If you look at the Balliol website, you'll find ways of getting in touch with the groups working, and we will shortly be putting up more material about them, and old members who want to see what's happening or conceivably get engaged directly in the research using the new technology will be able to do so. So, pretty exciting times here in Balliol. I'm still rather enjoying it, but I will stop in the end of September.